Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of The Chef You and I. Our guest chef tonight is Terry Young, my friend.
Hi.
And we are going to be making everything fondue. How about that?
Sounds good.
Cheese fondue, meat, meat and mushrooms or whatever. And we're also making about 3 desserts, right?
Yes.
Now, we promise on this show we won't do the Lucy and right, Ethel thing that we've done a few times ago with the chocolate. This is going to be simple.
The chocolate and the strawberries.
The chocolate and the strawberries. This is going to be really good tonight. So the first one that we're doing is the cheese been provided by Pine River Cheese Company out of Wisconsin. And Mary Lindemann was so sweet in sending it to us. We did another show with all of her other recipes. And so we're now going to do the fondue. So actually, it calls for, and we're not doing it with garlic.
Right.
The actual recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic crushed, lightly crushed. 1 cup of Sauvignon Blanc wine. Actually, 1/2 of a cup of Swiss almond, this beautiful cheese here. And then, and 1/2 a cup of Asiago, but we're going to use port wine in this one, okay? So we want to use 1/2 of those. And 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour that we're going to add to our wine and what we're going to put in there, right? And so we've turned it on low, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're going to do bread. You're going to do bread cubes, right? So the first thing that we need to do is turn on the fondue pot, right?
Yes.
And I think we need to turn it on to a little bit higher than we have it right now, a medium, okay? And what we're going to add first is we're actually going to add these type of cheeses, okay? So we want to take 1/2 of this one. Okay, that's about 1/2. And then 1/2 of this one. And these cheeses are absolutely delicious, okay? So we can actually put these out of the way. And we want to let that melt in there, okay? And then I'm going to add the wine to it and the other cheese. So we're going to add the wine. And the other, we'll wait till these melt a little, right? We'll just let those melt. We'll just let those go for a little while, okay? And then I'll add this cheese into it, and then I'll add in our flour mixture and make it thicker, okay? So can you go up, can you cut it up in cubes? So I've got it to a point where it needs to be to start boiling into, actually, it's doing really well. So we'll just let it go, and I'm going to add this cheese to it. So we have all the cheeses in there with the wine. Do we have a little bit more wine, do you think? We'll get a little bit more wine and add it to the flour mixture, okay? Because you don't want lumpy flour, right, Terry?
Right.
You don't want that. So this is doing really well, actually. Okay, you want to grab that from our producer, Terry?
Yes.
If you don't mind. And then what we're going to do is we're going to serve this as soon as it's done. We're going to move it over to the table and let our guests try it. But of course, we're going to try it first, right?
Of course, we have to.
We have to. So I'm watching this, and I need a little bit more wine, and I'm going to actually add it in here. And then what I'm going to do is add this to it. This is 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. And if you make it into almost like a paste, it won't lump on you.
Right.
And I learned that from my mom a long time ago
Right.
because I used to make gravy, and oh my gosh, was it?
Yeah, always
was
just adding a little bit first.
Right.
Does help.
Right,
Liquid.
right. So we're going to add this. It's melting beautifully. This is nice. This is easy, Terry.
Yeah,
Look at
and
that.
it's melting really quick.
Yeah, it is. And I've got it on medium, actually. And I'm going to add this to it. So that'll thicken it up a little. And, oh, this smells so delicious. I can't even tell you how great it smells. I can't wait to try it. Right?
Yes.
So you just have to let
It's
that...
just melting great.
It's just melting great. And so then we're gonna take our cubes and we're gonna add, as soon as this melts, we're gonna add the little top we have over here. And this is an electric fondue. And guess who
Much
has
easier.
it? Target. Target carries them. I couldn't believe it. I looked everywhere for it. And we finally found it. That's where we found it. So, and they're priced right too. I was really shocked. I mean, we used to use them with a little, almost like a little candle thing, right?
Right.
And, oh my gosh, this looks so delicious. I can't wait to try this, girl. Okay. What is that?
The
Oh,
sticks.
that's part of it. Okay, so what we'll do is we will put this on there in a minute. I'm going to move these out of the way. Terry. And that's why we have these.
Okay.
So this is almost there, Terry. What is that?
I'm just going to take the bread and set
Yeah,
right
do that.
here.
I think that's part of the cheese. Huh. Well, it was part of the cheese. Okay, it was like a herb in the cheese, right? So now that's what it looks like. You can all see that, right? It's almost done. I'm going to turn it
Thickening
up
up.
just a little bit. It's thickening up, right? There we go. And then we can put these on there, like that. And then you put these on, but you put the cubes of bread in there, but I'm waiting for it to get really hot before we do it. Well, you know what, Terry, before we hit the little break, this comes off.
Right.
It's called a quick disconnect. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
There it goes. So it won't, this actual pot won't fall,
Right.
So I'll bring it back up again because we're going to use it in a few minutes, but it's ready to go. So why don't we do this for our guest? Why don't we go ahead? Where are those? Well, actually, we can do it like this, all right? It doesn't matter, right? Actually, it makes it easier. Okay. And where are those wooden things? Just give me one of those so I can show people. You can do it either way. And these are bamboo sticks, right?
Right.
So we're just going to put that in there. And that looks good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this and put it right there. This is the fun part of fondue. I remember when I was really young, that was a long time ago. No, I'm just teasing. And we used to do fondue all the time. It was a
mom
cheap
used to
hors
have-
d'oeuvre,
yeah.
right? So
My mom used to always, we
she
used to
do
always
it.
fondue.
So we'll do this, take this off of here. So we want to do one more, okay? Turn it over, right? And put it right there, right?
Yep.
That's pretty. Let's do one more. Let everybody try it, right? So if you're having a bunch of people over, this is a very economical way of actually doing an hors d'oeuvre kind of thing, right? I can't wait to try this. I know our producer's dying too. Okay. All right, we're done. So we're going to take a short break and we're going to be right back. Let everybody try it and see what they think, and we'll be right
Okay.
back. are back on the Chef You and I. And Terry, what we're making is a wonderful dish that is like a soup. The Chinese use it, and it's called a steamboat. And so you put lots of different things in it. We already put in actually a whole, I think this is like 16 ounces, I think, of actually it is 48 ounces, sorry, and almost like 60 ounces of liquid I've already put in there, chicken broth. And I put in one of the celeries, and I'm going to take and cut up another celery and put that in there. And it's really great soup, but it doesn't take long to do it. And as you're adding all the ingredients to it, it gets better and better. So some people like to have chicken and beef in it.
Okay.
So it's up to our crowd tonight if they want that or not. So let's just go ahead and do this. And I'm going to add this to it, right? Put that in. And then you've got chicken right there, right?
Right.
And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you this wonderful little device right here. And then you can scoop it up with that. That'll be great. And so what we're also going to do is we're going to put it in some bok choy, right? Which I really love to work with because it's so good. It's a cabbage-like.
Right.
And you've had it, right?
Yes.
You've done it before
I like
on
it.
our show. And it's really tasty. So this gives it a lot of flavor. And I used to live in Singapore, and I used to have steamboat all the time, and I fell in love with it. I love the way they actually do things there because it's all fresh, you know, and tastes so great when it's fresh. It's like that in England too. And one of our friends that's here today, Miriam, she actually is from the same area that I used to live in.
Oh.
She was from Ipswich, and I used to live near Ipswich in Wickham Market and Camp Ash. So, and I had a friend there, her name was and it was called Rosie's Place in Ipswich, and she used to make all these old-fashioned kind of English dishes, like casserole, you know, like the casserole type things. So it was really good. So I'm going to add the onions to it, the scallions to it. I love scallions, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And I'm going to add another bok choy, and then I need the chicken to go in there.
All righty.
And you could add mushrooms in there as well, but because dear old Terry doesn't like mushrooms, we're not going to put them in there until the end. So I'm going to give her her portion first, and then I'll put the mushrooms in, okay? So, you're not talking much tonight. What's the deal?
I'm cutting.
How was your weekend? What did you do?
Oh, I went to a funeral this
Oh,
weekend.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Went to
So,
a funeral and then went to my son's, and
how was he?
he's doing okay. And
That's
they're
good.
remodeling their house.
Oh, are they?
So he was taking out a wall between the kitchen and the dining room.
You know, everybody's doing that lately. Have you
Yeah.
noticed that? Okay, that should be enough of this wonderful vegetables, and then we'll just add the chicken. And it's
Well, that
it's
looks
like
really
a chicken. It's like a chicken soup. That's exactly what it is. So we're adding the chicken, okay, and we can put this over here. And I won't use this knife again because guess what? Got chicken on it. So I'm going to use another knife over here, and what we'll do. I don't think we need any more onions, do you? I can use the rest of this. You want to waste anything on this, right? And see, that chicken's going to
Smells
cook
good
up.
already.
I know, I told you.
It does smell
What
good.
I'm going to do is add a little bit of celery salt, and I'm just going to do this. That's about maybe a teaspoon there. I'm doing what a father does all the time. You know what I mean?
A little of this and a little of that.
I'm going to measure it. Hello. So, what do you know? A teaspoon. How about that? And then I'm going to add a little bit of lemon and pepper because I love lemon and pepper. It's so good. All right. Then we're just going to move it around. And as soon as the chicken and the vegetables, which
Is
will take
cooked.
hardly any time at all, we will serve it. But that's the nice thing about Steamboat is you can actually when you live overseas and you have steamboat, Terry, what they do is they sit you at the table and they do it right in the center of the table.
Oh, okay.
They actually have coals underneath, and they have this pot, which is a steam pot, and that's how they do it. And you sit there and you put whatever you want in
That would be
to the
fun.
steam pot, right? So, do you want a little steak in it, people? No, they don't want any steak in it. Hello? No? Whatever. We're going to do that with our other fondue. We're going to be doing that in a minute. So, let's see how that chicken's doing. So, hold on. We'll let that steam for a little
Go
while.
ahead and put that mushroom in there.
You want me
Because
to?
I'll only eat a little tiny bit of
Oh,
it. yeah.
okay. All right. You know, mushrooms are really good for you. You know, I used to in England, when I lived in England, I love this. You ready for this, Terry? I had friends that would go out into the wild, into the forest and stuff, and we would get wild mushrooms. Of course, they knew which ones were
Right.
that were not poisonous, right? And I used to go over to my friend's house. And we would have fried bread and eggs and rashers of bacon. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And mushrooms. So I haven't, you actually don't forget that. You know what I
My
mean?
uncle, he can find those mushrooms out there.
they're
Gobs
so
of
good.
them, gobs. He brings them home, sets them on the table.
Right?
Yeah, takes pictures of them.
Okay, we're gonna let that, boil for a little while, and then we have another hot pot right there, or not hot pot, but fondue, and the next one we're gonna do is the steak.
Right.
So we're gonna take a little short break, and when we come back, we'll have all the steak and the other one ready to go. How about that? We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I, and our steamboat is almost ready, Terry. And what I'm going to do for you, because I love you so much, I am going to give you a bowl of steamboat without the shrimp, and then I'm going to put the shrimp in. Okay?
Thank you.
That's fine. So, anyhow, we are going to do that. He's going to love it in the end. Okay, so we are actually cutting the beef up. And you really want to use like sirloin or something that is not going to get tough. And you want to do it in really thin pieces, right, Terry? Because
Yes.
you're going to put this into the fondue pot, and it'll be really simple. And then everybody can have this. And then we'll do, right after that, we'll do the wonderful strawberries. And we're doing apples tonight, which we haven't done.
Right.
Right. So this is almost done. It's so simple to do. Actually, it's really, really good. So we had cheese fondue to start.
Right.
Now we have the steamboat, which is coming up in a minute or two. And then we're going to do this. Now, actually, I need the onion. I'm going to use a shallot, right, on this. And we actually put about 48 ounces of beef broth into the pot already.
Right.
And we're boiling it. I just need some wine. And we're going to add a little bit of wine into it. It always tastes good with wine. I love to cook with wine, actually. So we have that wine. Our producer's going to hand it to you, Terry.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And I used to love to watch the Galloping Chef, or whatever his name was, and then he used to drink it as he did it. And I didn't know
I bet you that was a fun.
it was a little bit much. Okay, so I'm going to put this over there. And he was hilarious, actually. He was British, actually. It was great. And a few years ago, I did a show. We won't mention anybody's name. And this person didn't like little kids.
Oh, gosh.
It was a kid show. She didn't like kids. And unfortunately, I didn't know she'd been drinking on the set, but she had. This is about, I don't know how many years ago, long time ago. She probably forgot. So anyhow, I'm adding this to it, right? That was hilarious.
Wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. It was like 30 years ago.
okay.
I was hilarious. I worked at a paper, and half the people from the paper were in the show, right? It was a children's show. It was a story. It was called Kathryn's Storybook Tree.
Oh.
And everybody loved it. You know, it was fun. So what we're going to do now is we're waiting for this to boil. And what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these, one of your guests, right, and you're going to put this on, right, these. And then you're going to put it down like that, and you let it boil.
Okay.
That's pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Until it gets done. So right there. Okay, let's do all of them. Why not? And you know, you can get this beef already cut up if you want to. But don't use like stew beef. That's not going to work.
Oh, yeah.
No, not at all.
Be
Unfortunately.
a little tough.
Yeah, a little tough. You want meat that's really not tough at all.
Right. And this here, I think, is
Right.
not tough.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
sirloin.
Yes.
Right. So how many
And
more do we have? And you can always
we
use
can always
these too.
use the bamboo sticks.
Right. I've got a couple more, Terry. Our producer's handing us.
Okay.
Okay. And this is going to be really good as well. So you can add other things. You could put bok choy in this, you know, and we still have some. And that'll give it a little bit more, you know, a different kind of flavor.
Right.
You know, and you can put some of these onions in too. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
And so anything that you can put in there to give it a little bit more flavor, it's like making soup in a sense, okay? And then it starts boiling, you know, or you can use cooking oil, only cooking oil though, not
Right.
olive oil,
Right.
not butter.
The
You
olive
know,
oil burns.
olive oil burns, the butter burns, so you want to use like canola oil, cooking oil of some sort, that type, if you're doing it, right? Can I have that? Oh, never mind, I've got it, never mind. And then just add that to it. Gives it a little bit more flavor, right? Okay, so it should, let's see what it does. Wait a minute, I think we lost the beef there on one of these. Oh, well, can I have one? Hold on, I'll just do this. I don't know.
I'll just stick that in there.
Yeah. So we will do that and see what happens in just a minute or two, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the soup is done. So we're going to go ahead and serve that for a minute, and we'll be right back. You know, Terry, this turned out beautiful. Because what you don't want to do in this kind of hot pot is you don't want the vegetables to be so soggy that you can't taste the vegetables. So
Right,
let's
you
try
want
it.
Crunchy.
Yeah, let's try it. It's really good, isn't it? I love the flavor of it. So the beef is almost done, believe it or not. I just had a little piece of the beef. It was really good, okay? So we're going to take a little break. We're going to get the beef out and let our guest try the beef and see what she thinks. But, you know, let's see if she might want some mustard or something, soy or whatever she'd like to have in it, and find out. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay? So we're going to take a short break. We're back on the Chef You and I, and first of all, you want to see our wonderful cheese fondue that we made with wine, and also Pine Valley cheese.
Right.
And we used, actually, we used Swiss almond and port wine. And then we used, 8 ounces of cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese and a cup
of wine. And we also used a tablespoon of flour that we made into to make it thicker gravy. So you can see this right here, how beautiful that is. And we just heated it up right there so you can see it, how we did it. And then we actually, in our other two our fondue pots, we made beautiful soup of chicken and bok choy and onions and mushrooms, shoteca mushrooms, and that's really good with a little bit of celery. And then we did our beef right here with with mushrooms, right, Terry?
Yes.
And tell us about the shrimp.
Well, We used some of the shrimp here for like a cocktail, and then we added it to our
Soup.
Our soup.
Right.
What was the name of that soup?
Do you remember? Steamboat.
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 That's
And it's easy because there's really a soup almost that you
Right.
that you make actually with all these wonderful ingredients that we used. And you can use anything from
Anything
your
in there.
kitchen, right? A lot of people use cabbage. A lot of people use all kinds of different things. So now I love this. We're going to go from here to guess where? Our dessert. So we will be back in a few seconds with all of the desserts that we're going to make for our guest. Okay? We're back on the Chef You and I love this one. And Terry, it better come out right this time. We're doing chocolate fondue with strawberries, right?
Yes.
And actually, we did a little trick with the strawberries. What did we do, Terry?
We stuck them in the freezer.
So that they wouldn't be what, Terry?
Soggy once you put hot chocolate on them.
Right, so they are going to look absolutely great. So the first thing you want to do, we plugged in our fondue pot, and I need that chocolate that you have over there,
Okay.
okay? Because we have to break it up. So we need 10 ounces of chocolate. How much is that?
This is 1
1
and a
ounce?
half.
1.5 ounces?
Yeah.
That's it? I hope we have more. Oh, well.
We do. We do.
Okay, so give that to me. Right. So, okay, we're going to break this up and put this in there, right? And then we're going to add the milk to it and the vanilla. You can either use this or dark chocolate, whatever you want to use chocolate-wise. So,
5, 6. So this will be 6 ounces here.
and I know we have more.
We do. It's laying over
Oh,
there. I'll get it in
okay.
a second.
All right, that's good. So we, a few years ago, made opera creams. That was a joke. I listened to our friend Mary Lou while she was still alive. She passed away a few years ago. And unfortunately, she had been making chocolate forever. So she had been making chocolate forever, right? And so I listened to her, and we had chocolate all over the house, in the drawers, everywhere you could think of, there was chocolate. So I decided not to be a chocolate maker because I just couldn't do it. And I probably had chocolate in my hair. Who knew, right? So I left it up to her. She was such a she used to make the best chocolate you could ever taste in your whole life. And it's an art. We have a lot of chocolate here. We need to put 10 ounces in to really make it delicious. So we're going to put it on here. I don't see the light yet. So I don't know if that's not connected or what, Terry. I don't think it's right. Well, there we go. Now we go. All right, so we're going to get all this chocolate in there. We're going to make 2 different kinds of fondue, chocolate fondue. One is a caramel, and we're going to do that with apples. And Terry's going to have to cut up the apples for that one. And we're going to put all kinds of different, on it?
Different little goodies. We've got nuts and cookie crumbs and different kinds of nuts.
3 different kinds of
3
nuts.
different kinds of nuts. Cookie crumbs.
And
powdered
coconut,
sugar.
coconut, powdered sugar, all kinds of different things that you do to make it. Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, so it's starting to get hot, and then as soon as it starts melting, we need to put the vanilla in there, not vinegar, vanilla, right? All right, got all that together. All right, so I need to turn it down just a little bit, Terry. It says low, right? So, actually, don't I have a spatula in there? There we go. And what you want to do is you just want to see how beautiful that looks.
Oh, yeah.
It's melting.
Melting quick.
I know. So, I know this is going to be delicious tonight. I hope so. Right? Right. So what do you have to do with yours? Tell me a little bit about yours while we're doing this one.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to take the, I have, well, let's see, we'll start here. We have a cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of butter. We have a half a cup of milk. We have 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar. We have a half of a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to take Rennie apples and we're going to cut those, 1 apple in about 6 or 8 slices. And then you're just going to dip them once all of this melts together. Then we're going to dip the apple and then dip it in nuts or cookie crumbs or coconut. So I could probably go ahead and start putting the ingredients in.
Right. And actually, this is right now, I'm going to switch those over. I'm going to, want to try to do this first? We really, you can do this with your friends, right? So we're doing it right now. And you could put other things on it, Terry,
Yes.
like nuts or whatever. And I think that would look really sharp on it instead of just the chocolate. What do you think? Do a little bit of nuts on there.
Okay.
Here, let me have that. And we're going to get viewers that are going to call us up and say, we know how to do this better. Hello. Right?
And that's fine.
That's
Everyone
fine.
has their way.
Yeah. Even put some coconut on there, maybe. How about that? And one of these. Your grandchildren could probably do it better than we can, right, Terry? So here's another. You want to stick it for me? And then we'll make the next one. Good, Terry. Okay. Are you serious? Okay, you do it. Right. So put it on there, and then we'll sprinkle some whatever on it. Okay. Some nuts, maybe. Give me these nuts right here. That'll look good. And these are actually peanuts, right?
Right.
So you can be able to taste that. So anyhow, let's do this one again. We should have taken the green part off like Bill suggested, right? What can I say, Terry? Okay, one more. Want to do it? The honors? Maybe not freeze them as hard as we did. How about that? All right. And you can, I would take off the green part the next time. How about that, right? Okay, here's some more nuts. Okay, that should do it. Okay, we'll put that over there. And now we need to move this, right? Let's move this out of the way, Terry.
Okay.
Oh, can you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're using the other pot now to do the, do you have to mix that with anything, Terry?
No, it just says to
Let me move this out of the way for you.
put in the brown sugar,
Brown sugar, and what else do you need? Butter,
the butter,
right? 3 tablespoons of butter, and then a half a cup of milk, right?
yeah, and the
And
Vanilla.
then 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar.
it's already in.
Here's your powdered sugar.
Oh, my powdered sugar, brown sugar.
That's brown sugar,
I
but
know.
it also calls for powdered sugar. All right, so Terry's put in a cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons
A butter.
of butter, half a cup of milk,
Yes.
right, Terry? 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar, which I just gave you, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Right.
Okay, so I need to cut the apples, right? That would be important, right? So let me cut the apples. because you're actually going to use the apple. You're going to use 6 parts of the apple, right? So, one, two, and I'm actually going to take this off. Here we go. And then, okay, so there, I got 4 pieces out of there so far. So you want to use these, right, Terry?
Yes.
You want to use these, and you actually put it in the apple like this, right? Okay, so that you're going to put it, actually you're going to put it into the sauce, and then we're going to actually take a plate and show you all the different things that we have, and you can actually put that on all the apples. So here's the first one.
So I'm going to stick the apple down in here and just get the apple kind of saturated with the, it's like a caramel, but it's not a thick caramel.
Now, and what you can do is I'll get a plate out, Terry, so you can actually shake everything onto the apple after you've done that, okay?
Okay.
So, we can start off with maybe some nuts to start with. Okay, so you have to do it like this. Okay, and there's that. And I think you need to keep them in just a little bit, maybe longer. Okay. And you could also use a little bit of
The cookie.
Like cookie crumbs,
Right.
if you wanted to, right? So that's what it kind of looks like. And then put it over on the other side, right? Cookie crumbs. And then let's put it on this plate over here, right? I can't move around very much with that. But that's the whole idea, is to put this into the apple. And here, let's do this. Is it supposed to boil a lot?
I don't think so. And then you're
No, it
supposed
says
to let
it's
it
supposed
cool.
to get, you have
Right.
to, till it gets thick.
Right.
So that's important.
Well, I just went ahead and turned it off because as it cools down, it'll get thicker, and then.
Right? Yeah, you can add more to it.
Right.
Okay. All right, so let's put this on there, and we'll put some.
Go ahead. And I'll stick some apples on
Okay, there you go.
with some
That,
coconut
and here,
and
wait a
some
minute.
nut.
That should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. All right, let me cut a couple more so everybody can taste it. Wait a minute, this isn't thick enough. This one is. Whoops. Here, let's use some of this cookie crumbs.
Yes.
Okay, and some of this.
That sounds good to me, the cookie crumbs.
Yeah, it does.
And the nuts.
And the nuts. I'd add more. Personally, I would have dipped it a little bit longer. Can you turn it back on again? Because you really want it to get thick.
As long as you keep it hot, it's not gonna get thick. It's
Right.
gonna get thick when
It tells you, it tells you here, 5 to 8 minutes that you boil it.
You didn't boil it.
No, I know.
It came to a boil.
You got to
was
boil
boiling.
it for 5 to 8 minutes before it gets thick.
Right, so what were we going to say?
Well, I'm going to say we're just,
What were we going to stand here and say
I don't know.
for
We're
5
gonna-
minutes?
I don't know.
You haven't
We
been talking anyway.
Okay, so these are almost done. Okay, that would be good to leave it on. So I think you have to actually boil it for 5 to 8 minutes, right? And then they're like candy apples, you
Right.
know. We could have actually taken the chocolate and put it on the chocolate too. That would have been good, right? Right? put the chocolate out here. We'll put it on with chocolate too. Why not?
Oh, yeah, apple with chocolate. Wait a minute, let's get rid of
Okay.
this.
Oh, that looks good.
Or over, that does.
That does look good, doesn't it? Why don't we use that? Why don't we use that right here? Look at that. Why not? Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, wow. Look at that. And then just use this right here. Right? And put that over there on that plate. Okay, now that's really thick, Terry. See what I mean? All right, let's do that.
That new
again.
safety
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah. All right. So, if you can't succeed the first time, try again. Right? Now, you can see how thick it's getting. We should show it on camera, actually. And what I'll do, Terry, is put this here. Okay? Put some coconut. Okay. Now try it. Now try it. And turn it around. Okay. See, it's really getting thick. And that's really what you want to do, because this is a caramel, right?
I'm going to try a little.
What?
I'm going to try a little both.
I think that would be cool, too. Let's put a little chocolate on it.
Chocolate caramel.
Chocolate caramel. That looks good. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. It's called patience. And actually, when you're doing this, like I said, you have to have patience, right?
That's right.
We always try new things. You gotta admit it, Terry. We're not ever afraid to do anything, are we?
No?
So, I think that's getting thicker. You can feel how thick it's getting. And you know, caramel takes a while,
Right.
right? So, and then you roll it, right? Like that.
Well, it smells good.
Yeah, I know. And then there's the cookies right there. That's what I think you have to do. It has to do. It has to really get thick. Mary Lou, where are you? Up in heaven. You're not helping us here, right? Let's do this. This looks like fun. I think kids would like this. You know, especially you could do this on, well, you can't do it on a campfire. Maybe you could. I don't know. What do you think?
You may be able to.
You may be able
Here,
to,
I'm gonna
right?
get in here 1 second.
Okay. So we need another plate here. Hold on. Right. Let's use that. Here's that one. And then we might as well use all this up because these apples won't stay for long. How's it doing, Terry?
It's getting thick now.
Huh?
It's getting a little thicker now.
Yeah. So you have to let that get really thick. That's a caramel, and unfortunately you have to let the caramel do that. All right. That's good, Terry. I think that's working out really well. Let's try this one. Just spoon it on top of it, Terry.
Right.
So you can see that you have to do this for a little bit of time or it's not gonna stick to the apple, number one. Okay, put it here. Put it here. She likes chocolate, I think. You like chocolate, Terry? What's the deal here?
Chocolate and caramel mixed.
Is that chocolate and caramel mix? Okay. All right, that's messy. That would be something Cassie would eat. You know, my granddaughter. Mm-hmm. And your granddaughter. Oh, your
yes.
great-granddaughter.
Great-granddaughter.
Okay, put that one over there. That looks good. All right, So let's try. See, that's what it's supposed to be like. Oh, well. Oh, we got a lot of new products this year, I got to tell you, right, Terry? Oh, look at that. Now that's perfect.
Yeah.
Is that perfect or what?
Yeah.
That's the consistency it needs to be. And that's caramel. I wonder what it would do with the strawberry. It's scary. It would probably harden immediately, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's try this. All right. Let's try this.
We can try one.
Yeah, what do you got to lose? Nothing, right? Here we go. A caramel apple. Okay, let's put this over there, Terry.
Okay.
Got it? Let's see what happens with the strawberry. I got it.
I need a,
What?
I was going to just drizzle it on
Just
there.
use yeah, do it like that. But don't you want this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, you can do anything that you want from home. Just try. Don't be afraid. Now it went through. Look at that. Perfect, right?
How did we get chocolate in
What?
here?
Look at that, Terry. Absolutely great, right? I can't believe it. And it stuck right to it. Take off the green part. You really need to. And
This
here
one didn't come out
is
too hot.
almost a perfect strawberry. How about that, Terry? I think we need to move these, right? Whoops. And put it right there. We're going to get rid of those. Absolutely. I think these look much better. What do you think? I think if we take off the strawberry, give me the other ones and I'll take it off real quick and we're going to show people. So these we froze, right, Terry?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to stick these in. And here, let's just do this. How about that? Put these right here. It's a little messy, but who cares? Right, Terry? Who cares? As long as it comes out nice. Here's one. And here's another one. And have fun at home. Have fun cooking. It's not always so serious, you know. We're not doing competitions here, right, Terry?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you watch all the television shows, everything is a competition, even for little kids. I mean, it drives me crazy, actually, to see these little 8-year-olds trying to compete to make these major chefs happy. And
Yeah, instead of just
I want
having
kids to
fun.
learn how to cook and be happy about it, not be sad. Right?
Right.
Okay, so let's do the rest of those, and I think
Okay.
we're going to be done. How about that? So, we're going to clean this mess up, right, Terry?
Yes.
And we're going to come back and show you what they really look like now that we've got it down to a science, right? Right?
Yes.
And let everybody try one. We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm ready.
Terry, you know what I love about this part of the show? We get to eat what we've made, right?
Yes.
And so we're going to try the strawberries. What do you think? And an apple. Why not?
Sounds good to me.
So we want you to have a wonderful time making all the wonderful treats that we do. Don't be afraid.
And
to-
have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun with it like we do. We love to laugh and have a good time, don't we, Terry? We
Yes.
do. Okay, so let's try one of our wonderful strawberries. And we'll let you know what we think. Right, Terry?
Yeah,
These look better than the ones that we made last year,
that
right?
is true.
That's true. You know, they're really delicious, actually.
They are.
And you know what? Freezing them was a good idea, Terry.
I think so.
And I think you'll enjoy it as much as we have on The Chef You and I. Join us next time. Thank you, Terry, for joining me and having so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
And I know you're bringing your granddaughter next time because she told you that you had to,
I
right?
know. She did.
Tell her that she can come, right?
Okay.
Okay. And we'll see you next time on The Chef You and I. And don't forget, wonderful sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors, Pine Valley, for the wonderful cheese products that they sent us. And we hope you enjoy them too. Go up to their website and you can see all of them. We'll see you next time on The Chef You and I. Bon appetit.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.